These are Huawei P40 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. They have almost nothing in common, but let's compare their cameras. Okay, first few phone details. As you can see, Samsung was released last year and Huawei at 2020, so 3 year difference. And when we look at camera tech, you can see large differences. So Samsung has 200 megapixels main camera, Huawei has 50 megapixels, f1.7, f1.9. For the zoom lens, Samsung has two of those, 3x zoom and 10x zoom, and Huawei only has one. It is 5x zoom. As for the ultra-wide camera, 12 megapixels f2.2 on Samsung and 40 megapixels f1.8 on Huawei, with quite large sensor. In my opinion, this is maybe the best ultra-wide camera on any phone up to date. So I took a few shots with these beauties in a few light conditions, and now let's compare them to each other. First of all, let's take a quick look at camera apps. So really similar design. You have few modes here on the start page, portrait mode on both of them. Let's take a look at options in portrait mode. So you can choose effects on both of them, also Samsung and Huawei. They both have dedicated night mode. However, it's really interesting here that night mode on Huawei can go up to 32 seconds, and on Samsung up to 30 seconds when it's standing still, but when you remove it or move it a bit, it goes to 6 or 3 seconds or something like that. However, on Huawei, if you put it to 30 seconds, it will stay at 30 seconds however you move it. Also, Huawei does have this great aperture mode when you can simulate all the apertures on everything, and it's better than portrait mode on any phone. Okay. I also like how when you enter night mode here, or let's say you go to more and then you go to monochrome, you can swipe back to other normal modes. If you do that in Samsung, you cannot swipe, you need to exit. It goes back to photos, but it's a stupid thing, but it is what it is. Huawei has option to enable AI here and motion photos. It also has Leica standard, Leica vivid, Leica smooth colors, and you can choose also filters on your Samsung. Let's check video capabilities. So I like how Samsung gives you option to change video resolution right here, right now, resolution and frame rate, and on Huawei you have to go to settings and then you have to choose. Both phones support 4K 60 and Samsung goes up to 8K. Rest of the things are under more. Here where the things differ. You have expert row in Samsung where you can change every option, but for most of usages you need tripod video. And on Huawei you have two modes that I adore. The first one is light painting, where you can from your hand shoot great long exposure shots, and the second one is monochrome, where you can use all the lenses and have real monochrome simulation. So for me, much more fun in Huawei's camera than on Samsung's. Unfortunately, I haven't had the option to try new Huawei phones, but this one is still, in my heart, best camera app you can wish for. It's not perfect, of course. Let's say when you're shooting video, if you want to switch between lenses, you cannot automatically. You have to zoom in or zoom out. That's a bit weird, and you don't have option to disable auto lens switching. So if I go to 1x and it doesn't feel like it's 1x, it goes to close up, so I need to turn it off. And yeah, I would like option to turn that off. It is what it is. Okay. Okay, as always, I have a few photo samples taken in various conditions with most of the lenses. I think you'll have no problem of telling which phone is which, but you also have age for Huawei as for Samsung. So let's start with the first shot. As you can see, the first shot is with 1x camera. Details are maybe not much, but slightly better on Huawei, and color it's a bit dull on Huawei, but a bit oversaturated on Samsung. It is somewhere in between. Okay, let's check background here. Background a bit better on Samsung. So details better on Huawei, background sharpness on Samsung. Let's give it a try. Let's switch to ultra wide. Ultra wide quality on Huawei P40 Pro is ridiculous. It's huge sensor with f1.8, and you can see that when you look at the colors zoomed out, it looks kind of the same, but when you zoom in, much better details on Huawei. Of course, Samsung is much more wider, but in this photo, I'll give it to Huawei. I mean, better details are better details. Okay, let's move ahead to another shot. So this is 1x. On the left is Huawei, on the right is Samsung. You can see here, let me zoom in on the same level. I would say the details and shadows are actually better on Huawei. Also on tents. Also when we zoom in to the windows, a bit better details on Huawei. Let's check it here. Let's check the floor. I'll give this one to Huawei. It's sharper. Colors are different science, but yeah, similar, but Huawei is a bit ahead. Okay, let's check ultra wide. You just can't beat this ultra wide from P40 Pro. Look at this. Okay, this one also to Huawei. What do we have here? We have another ultra wide comparison, and again Huawei has better ultra wide. Okay, so we can say at this point that Huawei does have better ultra wide shots. 1x shots, as we see now, trade punches. Here we have 1x shot, Huawei on the left, Samsung on the right. You can see how much better Samsung controls highlights, so sun is a bit overexposed. Let's zoom in a bit. And here is where Samsung starts to fall apart. Look at the noise here. Look at the details on the statue. Oh my god. Huawei is so much better. Oh, look the background photo. Oh my god. Okay. Even though the highlights are blown out here on Huawei, I have to give it this win. This is a better photo than 1x. I must say, I'm a bit surprised how this video is going. What do we have here? Another 1x shot. Okay. I would say colors are actually a bit more natural on Huawei. Let's zoom in a bit. Details are similar, but when you look here at the trees, I don't know. Let's look at the windows on Samsung and on. Is it possible that Huawei P40 Pro that came out 3 years earlier has better camera quality? Okay, let's check another photo. So what's this? Okay, so this is 3x shot from dedicated lens on Samsung, and digital zoom in 3x on Huawei. Here you can see the details are better preserved on Samsung. So for 3x shots, I would say Samsung is better. However, I've expected much bigger difference here. I mean, look at this. This is quite well, but yeah, let's not go further into it. Here, Samsung is better. Okay, what's this? What's this? Okay, so this is 5x digitally zoomed on Samsung versus 5x on Huawei real lens, and there is no competition here. Huawei slams it. Much better quality with 5x. Look at the tiles on the roof. Oh, this is a mess on Samsung. Okay. I'm afraid to go further with this video. I don't know what the comments will say. This is 10x shot, real 10x lens on S23 Ultra, and zoomed in on Huawei. And at 10x, I can probably say that Samsung S23 Ultra has better details. Okay, let's see 30x. 30x Samsung winner, definitely good for you, Samsung. Okay, one more shot of the sea and the sun. What should it be here? Okay, this is a 1x shot. Again, Huawei blown out sun. Samsung very nicely controlled. Let's zoom in a bit to this nice little boat. And Samsung falls apart again. I guess Samsung has problem with balancing highlights and shadows, and the noise is just horrible here. Oh my god, what's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, this one also goes to Huawei. What's this? This is ultra wide shot. Ultra wide shot. Huawei on the left again, better. This is 1x shot. Okay, 1x shot. Let's zoom in here. For God's sake, Samsung, what are you doing? You had 3 years to caught up. And this phone that I bought for 100 euros on eBay crushes S23 Ultra in 1x and ultra wide. Okay, let's go to low light. Maybe here Samsung will shine. So this is ultra wide. Again, details better on Huawei. Let's switch to 1x. 1x, better colors, more natural. Samsung, details are kind of the same. I'll give this one to Samsung. Let's go to extreme low light. Extreme low light, this is main lens. You can see totally different approach to low light. Let's check the chair here. Chair, in my opinion, looks better on good old Huawei. Somewhat more details here. Highlights are better preserved on Samsung. Rooftop, what Samsung does here, I have no idea, but a bit brighter, let's say that. Let's take a look at the shadows. Samsung has some really weird artifacts here and Huawei is clean. Let's take a look at the sky. You can also see a few stars here. Okay, this one goes to Huawei. I don't know how, but Huawei is beating this Samsung. I really expected more. This is ultra wide shot for low light. Samsung wider. Samsung more in focus, like Huawei missed focus here, so I'm proud to give this one to Samsung. Oh, okay, and I also have a 50 megapixel shot to compare with both of them. Let's see here. Oh my god, is this possible? How is Huawei better even at 50 megapixels, 3 years? Samsung, you had 3 years, you had better CPU, you were not blocked by US government. How? Okay, may I conclude the video? I guess I must. In my opinion, in this video, in this photo battle, Huawei did better on almost every front except for like zooms for what was it, 3x and 10 and 30x. Ultra wide, almost every photo went to Huawei. Main lens, almost every photo went to Huawei. 50 megapixel goes to Huawei. So yeah, Huawei P40.